Hello, welcome everybody again in our gallery. Now we had the opening of the autumn season with the Berlin Art Week last week, and we open the season with Markus Weggenmann and his wonderful show Missing Pink. Here in our first space you see two very large paintings next to each other, kind of struggling, working with each other in their different colors and their different sizes, also being added by a small piece at the end, a very small piece, showing the first representation of an installation for the entire show, which was chosen and curated by the artist, by Markus Weggenmann. Unlike earlier shows we did together, where we always planned and curated the show together in the gallery with the paintings, Markus had prepared this entire installation on his computer and surprised me arriving here in the gallery with this design. But I liked it that very much that I immediately said, okay, we transfer it one-to-one onto the walls. On the other side of this space you see small pieces, and here you have kind of an empty large wall with only one medium to small size painting, this kind of flower painting, and two other ones where I don't know if there is an object behind it or not. I would call them abstract, but they have kind of a similar form and just a different type of color setting. Now we find ourselves in the second space, which is kind of the main office space of the gallery, but at the same time, of course, one of our main exhibition spaces. And if you look at this wall here, you again see a very uncommon or unusual setting and installation of the paintings on the wall. We had comments which I like very much, which say that there is a wonderful sound between small and large and different heights of kind of the same size paintings, which I like very much and which people love as well. And when you know that Markus, the artist, loves classical music a lot and listens to it a lot also in the studio, then it makes kind of sense to have the experience of such a type of installation, which is also again a transfer in part from installations he chooses for himself in his studio setting. You have seen this painting next to me in the previous take behind me, and I'd like to use this one to explain about Markus' technique, where all of these paintings are coming from, what their origin is, because these are all brush drawings with color on, like we say, A3 large paper, and these very fast produced brush drawings get photographed, then they find themselves in the computer, and then Markus starts to work on these designs, on these drawings in the computer. So he might merge a number of individual designs, he might choose only one, he might alter the color and decide on something else. But the thing is that the final image is 100% final designed in the computer, and then he transfers it from the design he has in the computer onto the painting, which he paints by hand himself without using any sketches, or it's a direct transfer he does by hand. As you are probably familiar with Markus' works and have seen works of his in previous shows or on fairs, you know that there is a bright variety of subjects or non-subjects. We always say it's a way of abstraction which is very much himself, which is very much Markus Weggenmann. But at the same time, of course, you find works which you think of that you see something which is connected to nature or to objects you might have seen in your life before. Unlike these paintings, which are the 99% majority of our show, there is one other painting, and this is the one here behind my desk, which is the only one carrying a title, which is the title of the show, Missing Pink. We had decided on the title before this work existed, but after having decided on the title, Markus decided that he wants to paint a painting with that title. And this is kind of a color sketch of like many of these colors he would usually use, but as you can see, pink is missing. And this was the idea for the painting. Now I'm entering our other street space, which we love very much. Has a different type of floor, and that way also a different type of feel when you are within it. And again, a very specific setting or installation of the works by Markus Weggenmann himself. Here in this space, I'd like to explain a bit about the very specific colors he uses. This is called a high-loaded distemper color, which the artist produces himself. Unlike acrylic or oil colors, the pigments don't sink into the base on a molecular basis, but they just attach themselves atop. And this produces a very intense color, which you see in all of his works, as well as a very matte surface. And this is a very specific thing about these colors, that they are so luminous and so intense, of kind of springing out of the work, but still remaining very matte. These colors are very difficult to work with, as every pigment works differently with the base distemper. So you have like what the artist calls easy colors, like this orange, which has kind of a homogeneous, nice surface. But then there is this green, which is based on the pigment green earth, which is really an earth pigment, where you see a lot of movement and small pins in it, which are not avoidable. They are part of the entire thing. Again, there is a very nice small painting at the side of this pear, which of course everybody defines as a lemon. I don't know if you do too. On the other side in the space, there is the very large painting which we have also used for our invite. A very intense composition, again with kind of very different working colors. You see that there is a lot of movement within this beige brown, but there is a very bright turquoise here as the basis of the entire painting. Then he has designed or installed a very nice set of 5 small paintings, which I like a lot to have a row with these very different types of compositions, with more realistic, less realistic, but all working with each other very nicely. The last one here in the show is another abstract composition based on a color which Markus likes to use very often, which is the beige you see on the basis of this, because the beige lifts all other colors within the painting. So now we are reaching the end of our tour in our last and more small space, but with a very important painting, which you see to the right of me. This painting you might probably feel remembered of a Warhol painting. It could also be named a persiflage of a Warhol photo of Warhol himself and showing his hair. And at the same time you might think that this is a flower, and it could be a flower painting by Warhol again at the same time. So there's a variety of ideas and interpretations you can use in front of this painting, but also in front of many, many other paintings by Markus Weggenmann. So please come and see our show. It runs until November 4th, and we would be happy to welcome you here in the gallery. Thank you very much.